I'm doing phenomenally. Let me turn off the music. How are we all doing? Good to see you're doing well, Butcher. Coquino, hello. Escafrigid, hello. Yeah, we've a little bit of a small bracket this week. He's picking the greenies. The greenies and the meanies. I pick Wood Elves. Wood Elves into the greenies and meanies, I think. I think that's what we do. Did I pick Wood Elves? I did pick Wood Elves. So Wood Elves it is. Wood Elves. Yippee. Yeah, we're playing this week. It's a small bracket. What, there's like potentially 5 of us? Potentially. I'll just have to make sure that I kick Lenorm. If I don't hear from him in the next little bit. He did warn me he might be late. So, we'll just keep an eye on that. But yeah, the greenies and the meanies versus the Wood Elves. We're not taking this monstrosity. What did I do last time that worked really well? I picked Durthu. Because he's epic and cool. Yeah. We are playing 3 games. We should be playing 4. But one of them will be a finals match. By the looks of things, like with the way the bracket works. If Nenorm comes back. If not, I'll change it back to 3. Durthu is good here. I mean, I had good success with that particular build the last day. 2, 3. Pick 4 of them. I could go down 1, just pick 3, 3, and then the rest then some infantry just to drown everything out. A couple of spears to the flanks. Yo, thanks Amelia, for the subscribe. I really appreciate it. And now we don't have players for 4? Yeah. If, whatchamacallem, if Nenorm doesn't show up, I'll switch it to 3. Because there's 5 of us if Lenorm comes back. But again, I'll just keep an eye. If I don't hear from him, I'll unactivate it. Round robin makes sense, I think. Yeah. That was my initial thoughts as well. But I mean, it's basically going to be that. Regardless of how we look at it. I can just switch to 3. We'll leave it at 4 for now. And then, let me see. I don't think I can change it to round robin now. But, yeah. Switch it to 3. And then we'll see how we're fixed. Would be nicer to have, yeah. Chill flow, tower of Ho with peak pass. It's basically a round robin now at this point anyway. So, here we go. You also closed... And actually I was 2 minutes late, Butcher. 2 minutes late, I'll have you know. If he comes back in, I'll open up the other one. But either way, I have a match to actually prepare for. Sorry, guys. 4, 3, 3. The aim here is to keep Durthu alive into the late game. And kill the things that can kill Durthu. Well, I tried to register 3 minutes late, so... Fuck you. And then we change to the best... Okay. Yeah, there we go. We're good with this. We'll play some variation of this today. Also, GG's for the quick battle match before the tournament. Also, I'll be hosting Lich's event on Wednesday. So, hopefully we'll get a few people for that. I'd be excited for that one. Also, is my chat being weird? Nope, it's being perfect. Is Lich gone or what? No, he's just away that day, and he asked me to cast, which I am actually grateful for. Thank you, Lich. He's just away that day. So, which is okie dokie. 2. Yeah, I'm very grateful. I'm actually chuffed that I'm doing okie dokie enough to for other people to ask me to cast. That means a lot. Bup bup bup. Ba-da ba 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 da ba da. Don't lose? Damn. With all this pressure on me. World beater. I'm going to throw. Fuck. When are those videos going to come out? Soon, trust. Alright, I am ready to go. Ready! Ready. G-O-H-F. How are you keeping, World Beater? Hope you are doing well, sir! Try not to throw. How is this matchup? I'm pretty confident into it. There's a world famous caster. Fuck! I messed up my... No! My beautiful prearranged. I spent so much time making my fantabulous formation, and now it's all over. God damn it. GS favored, but GS is to bring more precise build than H Wood Elves, I think. I'm just building around Durthu for this one. World Beater? TO? Alright, we're good. I just imagine, like, Imp spam and roll. What we got going on here. Did he bring the very funny now keep in mind this build is built around killing all the things that can kill Durthu and then just winning the game. Although I really liked Curio's build into this the last time, which was quite neat. Whoa! 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 No! They hit them. Fuck. It's over. But and these guys out around here. But Let me get close enough to make pew pew noises. And have Durthu come in last. Because I think I have enough stuff to pretty much kill anything he can do. Just like have you guys skedaddle forward there just a little bit. Make pew pew noises. Let me see if we can start killing. Whoop. That's going to be a lot of damage. Sucks to suck. Oh, my other cavalry. Ripperoni and Pepperoni. Cool. And let's see if we can get up closer and kill the giant enemy spider. We're having a grand old time bumping and grinding here. See if we can get a nice charge in on that. Oh, they actually beat my front line. That's pretty spooky. Whoa! I'll get back. Are we winning? Are you winning, son? I don't like that they're... Get out of there. We'll get a nice side charge in on that. Where are you going, sir? Oh. Oh. Cut this one out just a little bit. Cool, get them in there. Kill the spooters, nice. Have you guys come over yonder. Have you actually go skedaddle back over this way. Right, they killed them there, that's good. Cool. Beat them up, please, thank you. Not a good charge, but it'll just have to do. Oh, that front line is not going like I expected it to at all. Here, just skedaddle in there. Cool, get out of there. Enemy spider. Cool. These guys need to bump and grind over here. This is not going so well. Could you please get out of there? Thank you. Rest of my cav. They're winning over there. It's fine. Okay. Dirty. This is not okay. Cool, get out of there. I'm more shocked my infantry didn't do okay. They usually do fine. Get a nice charge into some goblins over there. And my cab is pretty beat up. Get out of there. Get a rear charge on that. That should clear them up. Oh, Dirthu's not doing okay at all. The giant enemy spider is actually doing a grand old job into him. That sucks. No, that was not my cavalry. We'll get out of there. Understood. This exchange over here is also not going fantastically, but oh well. Quickly! Ah, and GG's. Fuck. If it would have to say in Dirty build would attempt just to bring us to what works versus do to hard kite in a 20 stack. Unforged, GG's. One. Cool. Nicely done, Curiel. A round for the Curio. GG's. After keeping their answers. Or I could have just completely thought that Dirty would beat up the giant enemy spider and then lose. I drastically overestimated how much Dirty would do there. Most of their cav was fine. For instance, I think Curio build struggles versus kites. They have a lot of bodies. Spider beats every SEM, I think? Okay. Well, that's duly noted. Unfortunate. Spooter. This is why we bring banshees. Oh, if only Wood Elves had banshees. Unfortunate. GG's Curio. Point. I'm still not hearing from Lenorm, so I'm just going to remove him from the bracket. We'll keep him here just in case he comes back at some point. Forfeit. Before the next round. Yeah. If we do hear from Lenorm, we'll crack on. Those were my kite answers. How dare you disappoint? Did you lose? How dare you? I'm sorry, world beater. It's over. My Warhammer 3 career in shambles right now. I resign. permanently at the bottom of the Vermin League ladder. It's Jover. It's Jover. At Cryery time. Time to go back to Elden Ring with my tail between my legs. You hate to see it as a sports fan, personally. Yeah, Vindictive Lair is good for just poking stuff and making things like actually die once you do get a decent charge in. Softens everything up. It's quite nice. It's just like I just treat it like Gaze of Nagash, personally. No way to charge. That's true. Or like one volley should probably kill whatever is left, I guess. Or just keep the balance of power alive for long enough to let other things like win the game, quote unquote. Maybe. Or just too high DPS for that to be a threat. Yeah, that's true. That's also true. That is also true. There's very few factions that I generally do hard kite into. It's mostly the demonic ones. Out of a sense of vengeance for all the times I got... Oh, hi, I'm here now. Sorry about that. Yes, okay, possible. Nope. That's great. Good to have you in. Alright, let's unforfeit Lenorm. And will we bring back up... So, quick question. Will we bring it back up to... Yeah, cool. It's great to have you in. Mark, your... Factions you play... Factions you playing... Okay, Norm is back. So that brings... 5 of us. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we can bring back up, back up to 4. 4 people do get a buy, but I think it's closer to just being around Robin than at that point. Yeah, we can bring it back up to 4. Save. Galbraith. Yeah, okay, everything is saved. I'm stepping out far around. Let me just pick. Let me just see what factions he picked, and I can. Dark Elves and Vampire counts. Okay, let me edit that. Participants. Edit. Control V. Ba 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 da ba da. Yeah, okay, that's all done. Neat. That changed his challenging. Awesome. Organizing through. I'll download that replay. Low numbers. We just do top 2 as opposed to top 4. Filling you in. As the due to low numbers, you're just doing a top 2 as opposed to top 4. Marvelous. Okay. Neat. Now, which match do I want to watch? So yeah, we're just doing the equivalent of a round robin tournament right now. So let's watch Kokino versus Lenorm. in. That's what I think we do. Send code, please. Code, please. And we'll watch this match. Oh, I get to use my... I actually need to redo my... That's that. There we go. Lenormand's not here. He just messaged me. He might be just a few minutes behind. Live vendor reaction. Cool. There we go. That should be that fixed. Neat. There we are. Nice. All right, we fixed it. But he's not here. Two. You're playing. No, he's literally messaging me. He's messaging me, Kakino. He's just put in. He might be just booting up now. Just give him a minute. He'll be in and ready to go. Also, I need to turn back on the music. What the fuck? I was wondering why it was so quiet. There we are. Oh, he's not responded to me. Nice. He'll be here in a second. I imagine he's booting up and stuff. Let me just make sure that the screen blocker is actually blocking screens. Yeah, it's blocking screens. Magnificent. Okay. We're good. We are. This is what magnificence. Organizing through. Operating through the Empire Quarter. To get in touch with... Okay, cool beans. Just send the code when you get a chance. Or further from that I can host. And totally not muck up everything. I believe. I believe it is in my nature. Okay. Alright. Let's refresh list and see if I can find the battle type, land battle. It's Curio. Okay. Is it the Tower of Hope, this match? Yes, it is. So I'm going to make the wild guess that this is the one. Yeah, okay. I still need the code. Or is it cookies? Oh, there it is. Never mind. I got the code. I'm stupid. Ignore me. The code. Yes. I was correct! We figured it out. We figured it out. We're geniuses. Ooh, Counts versus Norska. I have a yeah, I had a feeling I knew what you were going to bring, Kakino. It's actually not a terrible shout. You see, I know, but chat doesn't. I'm privy to the insider baseball. Inside Hollywood. I know what's happening. Get on my level, nerds. Okie dokie. But yeah, we'll see how this week goes. And then I'll start looking for next month for something a little bit more tryhard. We will see. I know Butcher's been saber rattling for some. I don't think Norska has a good chance here. The only player who really plays Norska that I've struggled with lately is Pasha, just because he plays such a really tight kite and collapse, or kite into collapse game plan. I really like fighting Pasha for that reason, but unfortunately I need to have the sweat dialed up to fucking 11 when I do go up, because if I fuck up even once, I'm in a world of hurt. Didn't even volunteer. No, but I know you. It's something that a good few people are asking for. I think even Nurgle's PA was asking for it. Or a few other people. Another thing I do want to try at some point is the Matrix thing. But we will see. Ooh. Oh, that's neat. I actually like that quite a lot. It's an interesting build. Huh. Yeah, just in a more general sense, Butcher. I know that there is a desire for it. And there's not many people really hosting them. I can kind of understand why. I think I have a few ways to format it that it doesn't take a gazillion years for a live cast of it. Because you're like looking at an hour around. Potentially an hour around anyway. What is it for 3 matches? You're looking at like 10, 20, 30 minutes. Add another 10 minutes then for stuff, so you're 40 minutes around? But it should be interesting. Same day, pick a very time usually, yeah. I think the way to do it for a top 8 bracket... I have a few ideas. Like best of 1 round 1 and then everything else. But 60... 45, yeah, about that. So yeah, about that per round, depending on whether or not I do a third place match. Do like a $10 gift card or something like that for the winner or something like that. At least for the time investment, good God. You could do it like first round is best of 1 and then the rest then is all... You're looking at your top 4... Usually the longest best of 3 in a round takes an hour. Or do the first round off stream and then maybe cast decent replays afterwards. I'll have a think. I'll have a sit in a big think. I'll put my thinking cap on. The light bulb will be over my head at the end of it, trust. But yeah, it would just be an 8-player bracket. Yeah, I don't foreseeably imagine you could do anything else. But then again, back in the good old days for Dark Souls 3 tourneys, a 16-player double LM bracket would take about 5 to 6 hours. I would be like a fucking corpse come the end of it, but and that's with someone hosting losers bracket at the end as well. Alright, we're getting places here. We have our players. We'll just wait for everyone to start getting set up and ready. And it looks like everything is taking shape, so we can, with good conscience, I can take away the glyph as well. There we go. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we do have Kakino versus Lenorm. We have Lenorm on the counts with the Stearnsman Graveguard, some Skellingtons, of which there are 2 of them, and 3 of them with spears, one of which is the Kongstein Stalkers for that bit of poison. Nicely done, nicely done. 1, 2, 3. No, there's 4 actually, never mind. Plus the Aura War, and then we have a front line of Zombozos. 4 Zombozos. 4 Vargies up in the skies. The Dire Pack hidden in the trees. The trees are talking wolf. And the Blood Dragon Vampire Lord with the Pestilent Breath, Helm of Discord, Sword of Anti-Heroes, Heart Piercing, Invocation, Gaze of Nagash, Raised Dead, and his shenanigans. And I don't think there's any of the Aura War Vargies. Nope. And then from the side of Kakino we have a Hound into woods. Riders of the Mighty Serpent, followed up by 1, 2, 3... Skirmish Cavalries, the Marauder Horsemasters, some Marauder Bearmen, of which there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bears, Great Sorcerer of Fire up on the War Mammoth, and a couple of Ettins. Nicely done. Magnificent, fantastic, as both lines are starting to get ready. We're seeing the zombies start to get into position to throw up some trouble. Changing formations, all that good stuff. The zombies are going to be phenomenal in terms of just soaking up missile fire, keeping everything at bay so that the more valuable pieces can actually get the snaps and the wraps. And we're starting to get ready. Looking here, the Blood Dragon's starting to circle in. He's looking for his opportunities to get some damage in. Of course, he is going to have... Does he have that damage resist? No, he is, however, just going to go for a straight Gaze of Nagash straight onto the Great Shaman Sorcerer, which does some fantastic damage going in here. Really nice poke. Really, really solid poke. I believe that was overcast as well. And with the Necromancer, of course, with the Forbidden Rod, going for Balefire here for flaming attacks and regen. Does he have... Yeah, he has Master of the Dead as well, so he is still getting a little bit of regeneration. Nicely done. The Ettins here are currently waiting for the Lord to actually go for his dive. Along with these chaps over here on the flanks, as a complete surround is coming in here from the side of the Vampire Counts. With the front line engaged, there's no rush really to do much. Stearnsmen here are taking a beating, but they are fighting a Great Shaman. As one of the Ettins, both of them in fact, the Goon Squad, going in here for this attack here against the Stearnsmen. Keeping those SEs nice and together. As we are seeing the Skeletons and the zombies starting to keep all of these chaps out and away from trouble. I can hear the Dire Packer still here. Does he have Dance Dance Revolution? No, he doesn't have Dance Dance Revolution. As we're going to see the Lord here go in for big circles. Big circles coming in to hit these Marauder Bearmen in the rear with the gear. The Dire Pack has successfully taken out their more alive cousins, as the Vargeist now are waiting for opportunities to go for dives. And it does seem as though they're finally activating as they have an opportunity getting ready for rear charges here, I reckon. All of the mobility pieces are being played super slow here. There seems to be no rush to go for very much of anything, as it does seem as though a Burning Head going down the line, taking out the Tithe. Oh no, the Kongstein Stalkers. Never mind. As the Ettins now and the Goon Squad getting ready to go for their dives. These Vargeist are still chilling like villains up in the air. Finally deciding to go for a dive here now that the Marauder Horsemasters are just slightly away, or at least that these skeleton spears are going to be a missile soak. Going here, the Blood Dragon is going to go back up into the skies again to get away from the Goon Squad. I don't know where these skeleton spears are going, but they're going on an adventure. They're questing, as here the necromancer's going to take a little bit of damage. And of course some skeleton spears go for a re-engage around the flanks. I believe what the Lenormand is going for here is to try and just wait ever so slightly for most of the infantry to be gone so he can get decent engagements. I think that's the plan, that he's planning to have nothing left but his Vargeist up in the sky, and then they're either their mobility pieces or whatever. I think that's the plan. It's not a bad shout, especially given that the Vargeist are going to take a lot of damage here. As a complete dive here on these Bearmen just absolutely obliterates them. Good lord. And we're looking here, the Goon Squad. There's one of the Ettins is out isolated all on his own lonesome, but I can't imagine he's going to be isolated for very long. As these Marauders here, the Marauder Horsemasters, are just completely struggling to get decent engagements. Really, really struggling to get the engagements they're looking for. Here, nice. The Horsemasters have, unfortunately, overextended, which gives a great opportunity to go for a dive here. Both of these Marauder Horsemasters are dead. They ain't going to be playing the violin no more. Beautiful dive here on the side of Lenormand. Taking out one of the mobility pieces. As looking over here, we still have these Horsemasters continuing to be kited out. That's going to be the end of these ones here, leaving very little kite here. Balance of power is still even Stevens, as we're going to see a nice little dive here against more of the Marauder Bearmen. And that's another thing gone. Beautiful. Dire Pack here going to be looking to chase off anything that needs chasing. A lot of these Zombozos and Skeletons here just trying to give room for the Vargeists to do what they need to do. And so far they're doing a fantastic job of it. But I am also quite concerned about both the Great Shaman, who is going to take another Gaze Nagash, which was overcast. The Vargeists now are unfortunately going to be picked to itty-bitty bits here by the Horsemasters. I believe we still have Dragon Breaths in the cards. 3 of them, I see. The Dire Pack now is going to make a move. Look at their schmoves! They're schmoovin'! Getting some really decent damage here. Very careful play. I'm loving this here from the side of Lenormand. But he still has this triple... The triple entity. I imagine the Breath Attack is going to come down now in just a moment. Or he's just using the debuff aura, which is also a possibility. As the Dire Pack now are going to be having a grand old time. Unfortunately, the Vargeists are going to be taking a little bit more damage. But it does seem as though these Horsemasters are going to rout. Still up in the skies, perhaps a misclick or a misorder. Or he's just waiting for that or for an opportune moment to go for a breath attack. One Horsemaster is gone. These Vargeists are going to get poked a little bit. Another Bearman is gone. There's a very healthy Bearman unit here saturating in. I am curious as to what the play is here. Is another Gaze Nagash, not Gaze Nagash, another Nehek comes in. There's only the Riders of the Mighty Serpent left. Vargies are continuing to do their delicate little dance. As more of these single entities are all going to go in. Has to pick his opportunities now to go for his casts. The Dire Pack are still in good nick. So we do have some answers, just not great ones. As in, aha, there we go. Are we running out of infantry for both sides to fight over? Both of these Zombozos get absolutely mishmelted. Still the breath attack. 2 breath attacks left in. Another Gaze Nagash comes down, hitting the Shaman once more through the fire and the flames. These Marauder Bearmen are out for the count. Excuse me. Barraghy's getting ready for a dive, and so they will. Really solid play there as Flaming Sword of Ruin comes down. Another breath attack, which did sweet fuck all. And there we go. You do see the Helm of Discord doing its thing here as well. Everything descends. Now is the opportunity. In she comes. This shaman sorcerer is not looking too hot. But unfortunately, this is juicy targets here. As it does seem as a shaman sorcerer, if he's not going to go down, then he's going to be struggling. More of these bearmen ready to rout. Darpak go in to get the full surround. Get some decent damage in here. Ettin's kind of struggling a little bit. Favor the ruinous powers. He's wounded. The dive comes through, keeping the riders of the mighty serpent out of it. Oof. And unfortunately it does not look too good for the shaman. The shaman's out. No more buffs. Oh no, the horsemen are caught! Vargheist go for the dive. Ettin's coming in. And with the skirmish cav gone, I think it's Cycle Charge City here. Darpak continued to get some charges in. Might be just as well to escort off the shaman. Although I can't imagine they've much of the ways of winds of magic here. Varghese might just escort them off here. One of the Ettins is kind of stuck. Take out some of that infantry. Yeah, one of the Vargheist is just going to escort them off. Fortunately, the Darpak are taking some damage. But we are actually going to go for the kill here. The Lord himself dives in. Escorting off everything that needs to be escorted off. Unfortunately, some of these Vargheist do seem to be stuck. Which isn't ideal. Shaman's down to 200 HP. Darpak, I believe... Are you out of ammunition? Yes. They are now out of ammunition. They need to kind of circle back. Ettin's doing their thing. Bearman here electing to go for the charge. That's that gone. That's him gone. Is it VC favored here? I think it used to be, but it's either that or it's even. A decent matchup for VC is a complicated affair. Oh, I didn't know you could actually go in here. That's cute. Sorry, that distracted. Maybe an attempt now to take out some of the Bearmen now so that we're forced to actually engage. Vargheist are doing their thing. Good job, Vargheist. Oh, does he... He's out. Oh, Jesus! He's up a fair bit. What needs to happen here is... Lenorm needs to kill off the rest of this infantry pretty quick, lickety-split. So it forces the horse masters to have to engage so we're not chasing them for 50 gazillion years. Yeah, we're slowly starting to run out of entities here as well. The Ettins are really the threat, but... Charge comes through here onto the Bearman. Riders of the Mighty Serpent get the hell out of dodge. With Bearman taken out of it, it's going to be a much better, much easier, simpler affair. Darpak are probably going to get charged, but they do get a counter charge in, and the Vargheist descend. A lot of damage. He needs to work on separating out all of these entities here, but this is going to be quite the challenge. The Ettins are definitely a really nasty thing. Just needs to separate all of these entities out. Both sides are going to be content now to just kind of heal up a small bit. I wonder how much Winds of Magic he has left. Another Nehek here would be beautiful. Yeah, look at that. Counter charge comes through. The Darpak are absolutely cleaving through them. They did take a nasty charge, though. Which is quite troubling. Damn, these guys just refuse to die. Darpak is gone. Balance of power is still very much in the Vampire Count's favour as a dive comes on here. Onto these Marauder Bearmen. And I think that's all of the land units down. So we actually have to see a land here. Yeah, kill off any other entities here that you really need to get rid of. The the Helm of Discord comes down, I believe. The Sword of Anti-Heroes has probably gone down here as well. Marauder Bearman gone. Riders of the Mighty Serpent gone. And now it's just the Vampire Lord, 2 single entities, and a bunch of Varghese. Rod as the Mighty Serpent might come back. This is down to the wire here. It depends entirely on whether or not we're able to deal with one of the Ettins. Balance of power there ain't looking too hot. Chase off any of these routing units is probably the play. Yeah, they're pretty much gonzo. Balance of power creeps towards the vampire counts. And of course the Varghese are keeping these entities separated. So that's pretty good. One of them's taking a lot of damage here. These Varghese can come in here now and stop the 2-for-1 into the Vampire Lord. Should be epic as the Vampire Lord now re-engages. Get that charge bonus back up now once more. Another charge comes through. Everything else now about to descend here as well now, but it's 2-for-1 against the Vampire Lord, but not anymore. Now it's a 1-on-1. I do, Cookie Nut. Curio, sorry. Yeah, keep them separated here. More damage here. Balance of power is now going ever more into the favor of the vampire counts. Beautiful play here from Lenorm. Beautiful play. Does he have a... I think he's out of Dragon Breath. Yes. I'll back up into the skies once more. Goes for... Resets that charge bonus. 2-for-1 here. Uh-oh. He does get that damage resist on contact with the Honor of Death. So he's getting that 10% damage resistance, which is quite nice. Resets that charge bonus. Yeah, it's just cycle charging single entities now. Back up into the skies. Find the one that's isolated. Kill it. Then one of the Ettins is looking like he's about to go down. Good job. Taking lots and lots of damage. Goes to the charge. Boom. Hit him with the headshot. 600 HP. One of them is down. Oh, nice charge comes in from one of them though. And then it's GG. Well, frickin' played. BCNRS2. Very, very nicely done. GG's. Lenorn takes the W. Yeah, there we go. Nicely done. Alright, who am I playing? I'm playing Prime. Lizardmen and Dark Elves. GG's, GG's. Let me find everyone. Okay, Curio won the other one. It's going to mess up the bracket just a smidgen. 0. Yep, there we go. Submit scores. Oh, what? No! Reopen. That was weird. Prime versus moi. Fixed. Alright. Peak. Pass. I hope everyone is happy with the map selection we had today. Hopefully it was all above board. Ah, there we go. Never mind. Prime got it. Okay. Neat. Oakley dokley. Lizardmen or Dark Elves? Who's who? Prime you pick. Prime you pick. You pick. Oh, he picked Lizardmen. I could try walk into lizards. That might be fun. That might be fun. I don't want to go with Forsaken here because he takes a bunch of Red Crested Skinks, I think. This is your chance for redemption? Maybe. Rotten Riders are epic and cool, but they're very slow. But so are Armor Piercing, Anti-Large, Anti-Inf. I could go with double Rot Knight because that's cool as shit. 2 of them. Oh, 5 of them, 5 of them. Go with... Have I gone with... Yeah, I did want to go for Plague of Rust. And then I can go with just 3 of them, please. And then, what else do I want to do? I have like 1800 gold. I could go with Trolls, that'd be funny. Although we have to change colour. Red is best colour, trust. Armor Piercing, Armor Piercing. Do you have this just to keep the Marauder Horseman content to go for a Manticore, stay up in the skies, go for Arcane. Pick Metal Shifting because we'll be spamming out spells, because we do have Searing Doom. Dragon Ogre Blob is away, yes, yes. That sounds ridiculously funny. But no, we're Honor a Blue. Couple of Trolls. Just to back up my front line, in case he tries to just smash on through it. I could go for Spawn, but I don't think they're very good. They're very expensive. That is in fact a build. It is a build. I could completely get rid of these guys and pick like a couple of just one halberd, but I don't think there's much point. And I still have another mark, so I could get that. I have 850. And I have a card for something else. These are so expensive though. But all of my mobility pieces are kind of spency. Skull Crushers, maybe? They're a little bit cheaper. Get rid of you. And then I can go for 2 Spawn? No. I'm not getting any Spawn. I just play it like I play a Vampire Counts with Blob Punishment for single entities. I could even get rid of one of these, but I like the Hellstriders just for that ability to, like, chase stuff off. They're like expensive dogs, but also that actually hit hard. And with Plague of Rust support, they should do okay. I think. Yeah, I don't take Forsaken here because there's enough counterplay against them. I have 40 gold. No. No. 6 gold. No. What about you? No. I could get rid of Final Trance, but I feel like I kind of need it. The Manticore up in Disguise. Or I could go Arcane, but I've never got good success with him, and I don't want to have to spend for him in a caster. Fuck it, we roll with this. We'll re-roll 12. 9. 6. Here, put it on a troll, that'll be fine. This'll do grand. Just play it pretty slow. Play KG with my Rat Knights. For blob forms, I have something I can do with this. Try and go for a nice little knit with these 2 flanks. Look at you ball. 6 gold over. It's so Jover. I haven't tested how well Marauders do against Skinks. So that's kind of a big question mark. I'm assuming they do fine. Because they're fucking Skinks. But this is literally just some variation of what I do with Vampire Counts. But with stuff that actually does damage. Now I could put my whatchamacallit on a horse, but I like having Manticore. I like having the mobility and the potential to go for dives and stuff like that. Not having dogs is kind of but it's fine. All the more experienced players are listening to my thought process and going, huh? Huh? You fucking what, mate? You what? Bloody hell. No, this will be fine. Actually, I have a question for the team because it's a matchup I end up having to take more often than not. Walk into demons. Is that cursed? Is that a cursed matchup? Them and Zinch. I know, I find myself running out of steam every time I play into it. Into either of those two. Not much you can do to deal with the air bullshit, I think. Is that really what defines it? That's funny. I find myself playing into it a lot. I think it was actually into the norm. Because the usual... it's really funny. What usually ends up happening is we'll go Wood Elves into either Zinch or Doc to start off with. Which I kite him out with. And then it's Warriors of Chaos or Beastmen into Zinch or Walk or... And then I cry. And then we end up Vampire Counts into Dark Elves. That is literally how every Firma League match we've ever done has been. I feel some variation of that. It's really funny. It's like, here we go. Hilariously enough, I actually just go for like as much magical damage as I can possibly stack. It's kind of neat in that regard. It's usually ends up kind of close-ish, but it's very funny. Yeah, alright, let's go. Alrighty then. Also, if people have issues, I say this every week, but if people have issues with any of the maps we're picking, just let me know. No, that was not what I wanted to do. Lamau, XD. Yeah, let's get all of these guys back here. Pop you up on the front. Just let me know in DMs. I think I've taken out most of the maps people don't like. Go 3 and then go 4. And we play this like it's a counts matchup. Remove peak pass so I can join next week. Only for you, Milky Way. I'll actually swap them around. Because we'll play pretty tight in there. Nice. Alright, I am good to go. Ready, GLHF. Ready, GLHF. I have issues with Dom. I haven't played enough really to know how I feel, really. Also, nice rock in the corner of the screen. Yes, that's actually... I have a place specifically so that is every single character. I have issues with... Soon, TM. What have we got going on here? Let's get you guys out of here. Get you back here. We have 4 units. Let's get you forward, you forward, you forward, you forward. Let's isolate these chaps. That was nice. Nice charging on here. Pop that down there. Get the trolls to do their thing in winning engagements. Cool, get these guys out around here. Get these guys out of here. Save them. Could you please get out of there? Thank you. Come with them, killing them there. Oh. Why are you moving forward? I ordered you to shoot, not run, not do that. So we'll get them guys back in there just to hold them up while they come back around. Right, we've won this engagement. Just pop that down there. Right, they actually beat that. Good job, lads. That's 1 cavalry gone. Cool, they died. Good job. Show them, please. Alright. We'll get a nice charge in there. Cool, they got a nice kill there. Oh man, we have only our cavalry contingent left over. Cool, they got a nice charge. Good job, lads. That's a nice tech into them. We'll get out of there. Cool, they did fine. Cool, get these guys over here. Cool, lock them up. Get out of there. See if we can tear out these guys. It's not going ideally, but we're not losing quite as horribly as I thought we would. We need these guys to come over here. Send those Marauder Horsemen over yonder. Oh man, no. Cool, get them please. Thank you. Nope, they routed. Rip. Okay, killing them. Good job. Okay, put these guys over here. We have another Tormentor Sword down in a second. Why basic trolls? I had the money. Like Frost. Flock of Doom. Going for a nice charge. Tasty, tasteful charge into that there, please. Oh, the trolls came back. Good job. Go for a charge here. Beautiful. They might break now in just a second. Okay, it is not looking good. I'm not gonna lie. They actually came back. Good job, lads. No! Too late. What are we doing? We're still killing them. These guys actually won there. Continue killing that. Continue killing that. Yeah, you're still fulfilling that attacking rule. Good job. Are you still... You're still attacking. Good job, lads. Distract them from that. Make sure that we kill them, please. These guys are all gone. I don't think we have enough gas in the tank, but we've played these things out. Cool, get them out of there. Go for charge. Keep attacking. Cool, good charge. Cool, chase them off, please. Thank you. You need to actually come back now. 38 seconds until that comes back on. Keep chasing them off. Oh god, that's a very healthy cold one. Cool. No, not Flock of Doom! How do you win this? I don't. Keep running away. Okay, they're outed. Yeah, and then it's GG. You pray? That's precisely right, Scorched Knight. GG's! GG. Alright. That is that. So that's going to be Prime taking the W. And now we're on to Galbraz. And that's going to be Lenore. It's actually me getting the first pick, is it? That's weird. Let me make sure that that's alright. Standings. No, it's Lenorm. Lenorm gets the pick. Hello. Alright. Got too much you can't kill. It's over for me. No! I retire. Lenorm. Host battle. Yes. Galbraz. Invite to player and pick Lenorm. One, two, three. Let me just make sure that everything is okay in the tourney cord. Yes. Fixed. And then there's 4. Cool. And it's not Conquest, it is Land Battles. Galbraz. Yippee. Alright. Let me see where we're fixed. Standing said he had a buy round, but he didn't. Technically, he did. Technically, he did. Sorry? Played all 3 rounds? Did I not set it so that there's 4 rounds? No, Lenorm didn't play all 3 rounds. Lenorm played 3 rounds. He was out, he got a buy round for the first round. What's happening here? Curio versus Kikino. Norm, Prime, Enda. Curio, Lenorm. Curio and Prime. Kikino and Lenorm. What? In round 4. Sorry, I'm a little stupid. Okay. We're basically just doing a slightly more complicated round robin. It's also, who's currently... So it's Prime and Lenorm is looking like the only 2 who are going to make it through. You have to refresh the bracket to guarantee the standings are correct. So it'll be Lenorm who picks, and then... your pick. So I got a buy round, Lenorm got a buy round, Prime didn't, Kikino got a buy round. What if I said bye-bye to you, Kokino? What then? And then we'll do the finals after this. And then I'll cast some replays and then we'll call it quits. I think. Might play some Vermin League after this. I think pretty much everyone played everyone, no? So it's Kahino Prime, Kakino, Curio, me. Yeah. It's almost a round robin. There are no rounds after this. There's a finals match after this. Just one finals match because the turnout was low. It's under 6, so I was going to change it to round robin, but I was late getting back to my desk, so I just said we'd roll with it. If it happens again, we'll just default to. Are you going on VL after stream? Maybe, yeah. I probably won't stream it. I'll do the tournament because then I get EP. If Lenormand and Curia win, they play in the finals, right? I believe so. Who's in with the chance currently of getting through? So currently on the standings, it's you, Prime. The contenders currently are Curio, Lenormand, and you, Prime. Basically. It's you three. Lenormand, cool. And let me just get affections. What? Sorry, I can't read. Sorry. Okay. And what else? What else? What else? Wood, pick wood elves. Oh, good. I can open a different game. Yeah, no worries. It's highly likely you'll get. I can't guarantee that you'll get through, but who knows? Who knows? Into Dark Elves. Pick Draca. Do we play some kind of a rush build? I might play some kind of a rush build here. Just take 3 archers and then rush everything else in. Try and knock down the front door as quickly as is humanly possible, maybe. Pendulum, Melcots. It'll do. Unless he takes Witch Elves. In which case that'd be spooky. $1,600 for that. I could play against your house, take care of the game, or see a Scorched. Rid of that, replace it with this. Do I go Zotes? I could go Zotes. Zotes would be funny. But is that memeing too close to the sun? I don't know. Go Wild Riders. 2 of them. And just knock down the front door. I do not know why anyone would bring Zotes. Overly expensive Cryptars. That's why. Sisters? I could bring Sisters. Nah. We ballin'. I did bring it once. One, two, three, four, five. 5 of them. 3 of them. And then we'd knock on their front door and hope we can break through it. I reckon. Treekin are the horrors? Yeah, but Treekin are just terrible. I never liked Treekin. Zotes at least have some form of utility. That'll do. Yeah, just try and knock down the front door. Click to this. We're in Galbaraz, right? Correct. And we are on land battle. Marvellous. They're not even bad, though. They just fit into 0 builds. Yeah, my focus here is to just make sure that we try and kill their infantry as quickly as possible. I haven't played. Have I played much of this matchup? Not really. A little bit. My usual answer is to just go very aggressively into their front line and hope that I'm able to beat down the door. I do remember once where I played against a very kite-heavy Dark Elf build and got ruffle stomped. Ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da, ba-ba-da. Ba-ba-ba. What are we looking at? His build is a little bit wider than mine, but we will see. G ready. GLHF. Through the front door. Oh, that's beautiful. Keep these guys back. Cool. Cool, pull back just a smidgen. Those Dark Riders are having a bad time of it. Oh, shit. Cool, got these guys killed. They broke through the front door pretty convincingly. Okay, just keep kiting this one back. Cool, they've pinned them in place. Good job, lads. Retreat back there. Get these feckers.
Cavalry. Charge. Blade guard. Hurry. By cannons. Cavalry. To war.
Continue harassing them, please. Ba-dum-ba-dum-ba-dum. Get out of there. This flank over here is going marvelously. I'm a very happy boy about how this is going. You can get out of there. Cool. Get out of there. Have you escort these guys out here because they're an actual threat. Nice. We've just basically traded a flank. Cool. Turn around. Turn around.
As you say, we accept. Understood. Swift. At speed.
Cool. They did a grand old job. Good job, lads.
Your orders.
Cool. Escort them off, please. Thank you.
Smash them. Right. Blade guard.
Cool. Get them shot. Get them shot. Put them up there. Good job.
Wild riders.
Cool. They won.
Shall be done. Go.
Cool. They're doing fine.
Ever ready. Rise, sons of Kurnos. Swiftly. All down ready. Riders ready. Now. Bowman ready.
Oh dear. Ah, GG's. Oh dear. GE. Elves. Round 3. Round 4, sorry. Cool. GG's. GG's. Alright. Cool beans. So that's Lenorm taking that win. That's 1 for Lenorm. 0 for that end of the line shitter. Marvellous, marvellous. All is right in the world. And now it's just a fight between Curio and Kokino. Nope, I woefully mismanaged my cavalry. In all fairness, there wasn't much value there. One of my archers paid for themselves, another archer paid for themselves. This light cavalry was just to be an annoyance, which I probably should have paid a little bit better attention to. Yep. Oh, one of my archers didn't pay for themselves. Alright, cool beans. So, it is looking like Lenorm with Prime in hot pursuit. And it depends now on whether or not Curio takes the W or Kokino. The avenging Kokino gets the win. Yeah. So there's actually quite a lot riding on this one. quite a lot. Zotes are just really... The biggest problem I have with Zotes is that they're so slow. Because I remember doing some minor testing with them a while ago. A fair time ago. They're a good answer to Dragon Princes, but they just can never catch them. So the Dragon Princes will never go into that and take that engagement. Unless they're like the last thing left. Because the heavy cavalry are a big problem. Super heavy cavalry anyway are a pretty big problem for Wood Elves to take in a fair engagement without like doing glady shenanigans and just catching them. Which is usually my answer to particularly heavy cavalry like that. It's just catch them in the net and then just nuke them down with Way Watchers. But that's a pretty risky maneuver. But let's take this opportunity to download some of the... We should have about 4 matches. We'll have 4 matches, I think. Yeah, 4 matches to cast after the finals. So we'll get to that now. Fair engagements are only for fools. Unfair engagements only. True. I think I take them... in certain rush builds, they're pretty funny, but I would never... They're not a sensible pick at all. They're a XD who does that kind of thing, I think. Honest to goodness. Alright, let me remember what I'm supposed to be doing here and actually download these bloody things. Tournaments. Tourney opponent. GS versus counts. L's versus greens. Punch is mightier than the blade. That's pretty funny. Lizardman Norska. One, two, three, 4. Cool beans. So these 4. Cut them, put them into the perfect folder. Replays. I need to clean up all this nonsense. Cool. Let's actually take a peek at some of the matches. Make sure we've no... Get rid of that. Now that's a build. Delete that. That's the 3 matches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. Marvelous. Should delete that. There's no need for that. I'm not sure what I was thinking in this one. I'm not sure what I was thinking in this finals match. That was very silly. I'd seen Berserk use the Hex Raids in the... I'd seen Berserk use the Hex Raids in the finals, so I wanted to take them for a spin, but my god. The Grey Seer thing into Ash. And I'm never making that mistake again. Should have gone for more handguns. IMO TBH. What was Bozo thinking? What was I thinking? Alright, we're still waiting for the Kikino versus Curio match to end up. If I look at the finals, we're on the tourney grounds. I am most certainly not in the finals. So I'll actually get a spec slots and stuff like that ready. I'm actually not sure if it's going to be... There we go. We did it. Whoa, Kokino took the W. So that means... Just double check scores, so that's correct. Prime 1, Curio 1, Lenorm 1. Yep, we're good on my end. Alright, folks. We download that. Thank you. Alright, folks. Check scores. Check scores, folks. And we will be ready for the finals. So how are we fixed? So we go standings. It is Prime versus Lenorm. Think all is above board. OMG, I'll have to cast that one then, Kokino. But it does seem, though, that means the Prime is in the finals versus Lenorm. So, at Lenorm, Ash, Prime. Three. There we go. The tourney grounds land battle to finish us out, folks. Now you're forced to play more of the video game. I know it's shocking. Start the final stage. Good job to both of our finalists. Normally we go for a top 4, but because the numbers were lower, who picks first? I believe it is Lenorm who picks first. Let me just double check. Lenorm. No. Picks. You had highest standing in the pools. You had the highest standing. Lenorm picks. You had the highest standing in the pools. I understand the blind picks and stuff are like really fun for people, but I have had so many terrible finals matches for these in like the SFTs. I'm actually like heartbroken. They're just curb stomps. in the SFTs for the most part when there's like a bad matchup and both players know what they're doing. It's awful. So bad to watch. Pick. Oh god, it's a... Not really. For a finals, no. For... Pick, as of right now, we stick to the highest, taking the first pick. But I will consider it for next week. As of now, I stick at the highest, taking the first pick, but I'll consider it for next week. And then we stick at the highest, taking the first pick, but I'll consider it for next week. Viewers like blind pick. I think players sometimes do. I generally don't like. It's just the lads. I think Prime argued for a blind pick, but I hate it. It's so bad. Good lord. Ugh. Maybe even to play, it's like, oh, we'll consider it for next week. Maybe stick with the highest taken first pick, but we'll consider it for next week. Okay, that's good. It does look like it's going to be Dark Elf Mirror to finish us out. Does anyone have that image of like the Spider-Man? The two Spider-Men pointing at one another, and it's just both of them casting a Doom Bolt at each other. Does anyone have that to hand real quick? I seen it in Under Empire memes a while ago. I think this is apt. I have a better one. I'm on the edge of my seat, Curio. I can post it in the tourney opponent thing. I think it's going to be very important. The only mirror I can't really stand to play. That's the one. That's pretty peak. That is pretty peak. Save that. Yoink. Put that in here. Yep. We'll keep that one for after. But you just meant the normal Spider-Man. Ah, that's that one exactly. Nope, that's the one. Now, who is the better Dark Elf? Remains to be seen. Oh, I can actually just do this. Where is it? Let me pick that. There you go. Perfect, beautiful, very apt. Thank you, Curio. You came in clutch. This is what we all signed up for. We're keeping... You can stay now for that one, Curio. We'll actually get rid of Prime and replace him with you. Just for that one, I reckon. This is how we roll. Peak Gaming. Perfectly fair, of fucking course. Yep, 100%. But you are also forced to play a Dark Elf mirror. How does that sound? I think that's fair. Yeah, I actually don't. There's very few. It's very rare you see mirrors in these tournaments, like at all. Very rare you see them even in Vermin League stuff. Again, the only one that I really don't like is just the Vampire Count one, because it's like hands off. Yeah, mirrors are rare. Is there, like, is it just that players don't like them? Because in some games, mirrors are insanely common. Ready? Okay, there we go. Like, insanely common. Oh, man. They did both actually take quite different builds, though. That's interesting. I would just wait for both players to get into position. No dupe. Well, I know the SFTs, but even in Vermin League, it's not often I see it. Was kind of my general point. We'll just wait for a second. I know I go out of my way to avoid the counts one. That's, again, because push forward, walk away from screen, and occasionally micro your SE is definitely high tier engaging gameplay as two blobs attempt to perform mitosis on one another. Have been conned into disliking mirrors. That's... If I get a Wood Elf one, I don't mind. If I get a... I haven't played a Wok mirror. Don't think I've ever been in a position to play one. Alright. We'll wait for our players to start getting their shit together. Were they common in other Total War games? To deny the mirror because they feel it's favorite. Ah, gotcha. Alright. Players are starting to get into position. Alright, folks. We have both of our players here on the side of Gala. Lenorm. We're going to have a Witch Elf push by the looks of things. Lots of Witch Elves. Definitely wanting to win that frontline engagement, of which they most certainly will do. Some Cold One Knights. 1, 2, 3. 4 of them in total. Maxed out on that one. Some Dark Riders. Scourge Runner Chariots. And a Supreme Sorceress of Dark on the ground. Look at her horse. Is she on a horse even? She's on a horse. And she has Doombolt, Opal Amulet, and Arcane Conduit. And then, of course, Dark Riders, Dark Riders, Dark Riders with shields from the side of Prime, along with some Cold Ones, of which there's 1, 2, 3 of them. The Bolt Fiends, Dark Shards with shields, some regular Dark Shards, and some Dark Shards with shields. And then a front line of Bleak Swords, which are going to be cut to pieces by the looks of things, by those Witch Elves. 2, 4, 5 of them. And we're off to the races. Medusa starting to skedaddle on forward. Supreme Sorceress of Dark with Doombolt, Bladewind, up on the Pegasus, by the looks of things, or whatever that thing is called. Is it a Pegasus? Dark Pegasus? Yeah, it's a Pegasus. But evil. As we're starting to see both players now start to get into position. Medusa's going to be skittering forward just a little bit. But we will have Scourge Runners running and scourging. And Dark Riders pulling on in front. Both sides looking to try and get this advantage right in the early game, as the Scourge Runners are probably going to start shooting now. Probably the Medusa. Do they have the anti-large armor-piercing missiles? That'll do. Scourge Runners just getting into position. These Dark Riders are getting well into range here. It does seem as though now the front lines now are going to start to engage on one another. As everything tries to get into position here. Scourge Runners are shooting, I believe. Both sides are kind of playing this super cagey. Playing a nice positional fight to begin with. Dark Riders are going to start pulling out ahead. Scourge Runners here just to try and shoo them off. Of course, the Dark Riders with shields are in range. Everyone's starting to get into position here. Going for boxy shenanigans by the looks of things. Start off, Dark Riders moving in here to get a charge, I reckon. Some pew pew noises are about to go off now from the side of, I believe, this is going to be from Prime, who's immediately starting to shoot at some of these Witch Elves, trying to chew them up a little bit, but unfortunately, Sisters of Slaughter are going to catch these Dark Riders, take a nasty bit of their health bars out. Cold Ones now starting to reform. A lot of gold hitting this one little flank, as unfortunately these Sisters of Slaughter are going to be shot out here by the Siren of Red Ruin, the Medusa. Making some pew pew noises in here. These Dark Riders are not having a good day, but unfortunately these Cold Ones are going to be clipped. Bit of a rear charge, but not before these chaps are taken out. That front line is not looking too good, as unfortunately the Sisters of Slaughter are going to get the Bolt Fiends. We do see some Cold Ones start to saturate in. Break everything up here. Doombolt comes down, and that's going to be some nice damage there. Really nice mobility comes out here from the side of Prime. Dark Riders are here still duking it out. And here's some more Dark Riders coming in from behind, getting ready to get that rear charge here on the Witch Elves. We're going to take a little bit of damage. Bit of a Blob McBlobbenstein happening over here. Neither side really able to punish much, as these Cold Ones are now gone. With complete mobility overload coming in here, just doing a wicked amount of damage. And these Dark Riders are probably not going to cut it, along with these Bleak Swords. Medusa here getting shot down by the Scourge Runners, which is of course huge. Over here, we're seeing Prime's Cold Ones get isolated and cut to bits. Prime coming back in here to try and save these other ones, but these Witch Elves are having a whale of a time. They're living their best lives, as these Scourge Runners continuing to do unspeakable things to this Medusa. Looking here, Cold Ones, still duking it out. We do have these Dark Riders, but they're going to be caught in a lot of stuff. But unfortunately, a wicked blob still ongoing over here. Prime has taken a little bit of damage. Both of their lords are doing pretty okay. The Norm's lord has taken the brunt of the action, but she's also in the thick of it over here, as this entire flank has just evaporated for Prime. Some Cold Ones did manage to come back, but they are going to get charged by these healthier ones, which bigger bar equals more win, by the looks of things. With the Medusa stuck in the middle with you. Both sides trading pretty evenly, but it does seem as though the balance of power, slowly but surely, these Scourge Runners basically untouched, taking out these Dark Riders. Other Dark Riders trying to hold stuff in place, but it does seem as though the Witch Elf front line is going to win it out. Dark Riders trying to come back around here, but they are immediately going to get pew-pewed. Getting for a nice charge here against these Witch Elves. They are going to die, but these Dark Riders going to be escorted off. Not looking too good for Prime and Lenorm. May not rest in his laurels, but with all the mobility gone, and only a Medusa, a Lord, and a few tattered Cold Ones. Are there any Cold Ones here for Prime? No, just Dark Riders. But these ones are going to be rear charged. Is it really going to matter though? Hard to tell. Charge comes through. Probably not. There's not enough of them really to do enough burst. Cold Ones do manage to come back. Doombolt comes down. Vengeance for earlier. They both do bolt at each other. Cold One's here chilling out in the trees. These Dark Riders and Cold One's going to be escorting off any of the mobility that's left. And I think that's... I can imagine an F. F's in chat for Prime. Is what I'm feeling here. These Bolt Fiends going to throw off a few cheeky shots. But unfortunately they're going to get charged down. Good God. What a beautiful charge. More Cold Ones coming in here. Army losses on... Yeah. As I was about to say it. GG's. Alright. And congrats to Lenore for proving who is the best evil knife here in our finals. GG's. We will be casting some replays to finish out the stream. Finals and GG's to all. All. The bestest evil. You should. I think you should react. Congrats, congrats. And we first ended the stream. Nicely done. GG's. GG's. Alright, my archers walked up in melee. It happens to the best of us. Alright, let's see what replays we got and what ones we want to cast out. So we watched Lenorm not so long ago. That's 2 Lenorms. We watched Prime. Let's not watch that. 2, 3, 4. Delete that. Yes. I think there's one more replay we're missing. I reckon. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll grab that, and then we'll have a little peek. There's one more replay here that I think I already downloaded. Greenskins versus Norska. One, 2, 3. So I'm just missing the Lizardman versus... No, we already have that. Greenskins versus Norska. Yes. That's the one we're missing. Copy. Yep, that's the one we're missing. Okay, cool. So is there any matches people would like to have casted first? If there's any in particular you'd like to look through, we probably have time to look through all of them. Or is there any you would prefer not to have casted at all? I guess is probably the best question. Yeah, we can watch this. Demean and Greens. Paunch is mitered in the blade. Let's watch this one. The Great Ban Wars. Alright. Curio versus Prime. Considering this is a match that's like instrumental in getting both of these players in ready for the finals. Alright. Cool. From the side of Curio, we're gonna have some goblins, or the orc spears, goblins, more goblins, the 8 peak loony goblins, more goblins, and some more orc spears. 1, 2, 3, 4 orc, savage orc boar boys. Are there any boar boy biggins? Yeah, one of them is a biggin, and then we have the Aura War biggin. Broken Tusk map. Some archers, savage orcs. I don't think there's any more archer core there to have to deal with. An orc shaman with brainbuster and the power to wah. Gobbling bolt thrower, doing gobbling bolt thrower things. And just Grom the Paunch with the lucky banner and the axe of Grom and language of the boys. Versus the side of Prime on those Dark Riders in the front. Crows of Cain up in the sky. Some more. Harpies. The Raven's Herald, actually. The repeaters? Evil. Look at them evil. They have bat wings. That makes that, just in case you didn't know they were evil. Some Charybdis. There we go. We did it. Cold One Knights. Bleak Swords. Some more Cold Ones. And Malice. What's Malice rocking? Demon's Curse, Blood Prince, Zerkan, and then he has the Sorceress of Death with, of course, Doom and Darkness, Purple Sun with Life Leeching, Dark Star Cloak for some of the winds recharge, nicely done, and then a Bloodrack Shrine, which is going to be shot out. Cool beans as we're seeing the Dark Riders and everything set up for a flank. Setting up to try and take out these orcs on the sides. Ah, it's a leadership debuff. Along with the other one is these Dark Riders are going to charge. Along with a counter charge here into some Cold Ones. More Cold Ones coming in here, getting ready for a flank as well. Crows of Cain over the top here, trying to get a dive in. And this is the Savage Orc Boar Boys are going to get Purple Sun of Xerius. It's the technical term for it. Getting some nice value. How much value she get? About 300 for it. Unfortunately, these Dark Riders are going to be sent home screaming. The spears are going to be doing a decent job here as well. Getting the Bleak Swords charging in here against some Goblins. Bleak Sword's getting a nice charge in around the flanks here as well, as an absolute clustercluck is going on over here. Looking here, of course, we are going to see some Goblin Bolt Throwers do some decent pew-pews into the Charybdis, just keep it honest. The Crows of Cain did go for the dive onto it, but they are going to be sandwiched between some Orc Boar Boys. Some of them are big ones, some of them not so much. Sorcerers here, stuck in the middle with you. As we do see that leadership debuff actually coming in clutch. Charybdis here in the middle of it as well, as they're going to all terror out. Crows, the Raven's Herald making some pew-pews down here, but not before doing some serious damage to these Cold Ones, who are probably going to crumble and die. Run away. The Crows of Cain doing their damnedest now. They have gotten these chaps off their arty, but they are going to come back, no doubt. Dark Riders here saturating in just to keep everything in place. Bloodrack Shrine. It's going to shoot here at the Orc Shaman. As unfortunately on this flank it ain't looking too hot. Crows of Cain are going to be routed off. Cold Ones in route. And it looks like it's going to be a serious cleanup job here. As the Raven's Herald are just going to shoot at some stuff. Malice is still in it. These Savage Orc Boar Boys doing their thing. Getting a charge here. Just a poke. Just a little poke. the Bloodwreck Shrine is going to tear out these chaps off. But unfortunately, the Charybdis is going to be stuck in some broken tusk mob, which is not ideal. As the Crows of Cain have returned to us, looking for some juicy target in the backfield to dive. Bloodwreck Shrine saturates in here. Charybdis is going to be jumping, leaping, bounding. Grom being very paunch, getting a rear charge here against the Bloodwreck Shrine. Charybdis does look as though it's about to break. Raven's Herald continuing to shoot into the middle of all of this. As the 8 Picaloonies gonna come in now in just a second, just to help saturate in here. Charybdis is on the verge of breaking, but we do get another Purple Sun here on top of some Savage Orc Boys. How much value did she get as we're on the cusp? 600. Yeah, it'll keep ticking up, and unfortunately, that seems like army losses is just a week away. Raven's Herald do get the dive on these chaps here, but they're going to be too tattered. Crows of Cain are going to shatter, of course. Malice and Grom having the duel of the century. Do we get Zerkand? Bing Chiling. Pretty much everything of value is here. And that Bloodwreck Shrine is still getting peppered. Soul? Is it not Soul Stealer? What's it called? There's a name for that. Demon's Curse, yeah. Zarkan is up. Looking to beat the snot out of some stuff. Mass Terror out comes out here. Charybdis is still broken though. Bloodwreck Shrine's about to go down. And with that, there's just too much stuff for, I think, Malice to be able to take out, as he's going to get Grom the Paunch. Broken Tusk Mob saturates in. Continues to do some serious damage. That's pretty much good night and good luck, I'd imagine. Just take a little bit of damage. He gets a little bit of a heal from that, doesn't he? And that's, yeah. It's all versus the Paunch versus the Blade. It's not really a 1v1 though, you're right? Very dramatic as Spite is having a whale of a time. He's kind of stuck. He's like sidestepping. Oh, he's looking for some more boar boys to poke at. Oh, Broken Tusk Mob are gonna die. How much value did Malice get here? 1,000. There you go. Look at that. Bumper cars. They're bumper carsing away. Alright, let's fast forward this. Yeah, there we go. GG's. Zoom in, please. GG's. Alright, VC versus Greenskins. Norska versus Curio as well. Missed the pirouette. I'm sorry! I was distracted. Alright, we'll go Lizardman versus Norska. Then we'll go GS versus VC. Oh, we'll just see how we're fixed then after this. I'm fired from my own tournament. You hate to see it, truly. It's over for me. Alright. We'll probably cast all of them. There's only 4 matches. But either way, from the side, I believe it's... I didn't check who was who. We got Horned Ones, Cold One Spears, Sollies, Cold One Spears, Cold One Spears, some Skinks with Javies, Some chameleon skinks out front. Colostodon hunters. Lord Mazdamundi. With Shield of the Old Ones, Banishment Bound, Ruination of Cities, Apotheosis, Harmonic Convergence, a Net of Amontok along with Greater Arcane Conduit. Nice, nice, nice. And I think that's everything. Court is so tech as well. Ah! Norscan Ice Wolves from the side of Kino. Some Skin Wolves. Marauders. Marauder Bears. Marauder Bears. Marauder Bears! Some more Skin Wolves and 2 Norscan Ice Wolves in the flanks. Javies here in the backfield. Some more Skin Wolves, just for that little bit of peel. And more Javies. We got Trog with the Wintertooth Crown and regen. And then a Shaman Sorcerer of Metal. Plague of Rust and Final Trans. All pretty standard stuff. As we're about to see both sides make their pew pew noises at each other to begin with. And unfortunately these chameleon skinks do look like they're about to be charged pretty much for free. They're both deciding to skitter back now. Sally's going to take out these Javies pretty nastily. We do see these skink cohort with Javies throw on in. As over here on the flanks, we're getting a setup now for the collapse. Norscan Ice Wolves probably going to go for the charge here against the cold ones just to keep them in place. So these the Skin Wolves can actually take out the more high value target, which is of course going to be these Sallys. Although no, they're actually going to saturate here into the middle of this. And maybe a little bit of friendly fire might help them on their way, as these horned ones are going to take a beating. Unfortunately, these doggos are going to get the hell out of dodge. Nice rear charge here against these Cold One Spears, but the other Cold One Spear is going to turn about face. And these Javies going to throw in here, getting some really tasty damage in there. Banishment comes down here, catching these Marauder Hunters, the Javies. A bunch of stuff is throwing in here. Unfortunately, these Colostodons are going to take a lot of damage, but Throg is taking a beating. As he's in the middle of this powdered snow thing. What's up, Yas? Throwing in here the Cold One Spears, saturating in, trying to get as much damage as they can. Bail out this other Cold One Spears. Unfortunately, these Marauder Hunters with Javies are pretty much ready to throw in at a moment's notice. Horned ones taking a beating over here on the flank. The Sallys are still up, throwing in here, taking out these Norscan Ice Wolves. Unfortunately, this mass is going to win them the engagement, but not before taking an absolute pounding here from the side of both the Sallys and the Horned ones. And it does seem as though these Norscan Ice Wolves have reformed, going in set up for another charge here against them. Skin Wolves do get in, but they're probably going to rout in just a moment. As a cohort of Sotek still hammering on through against these Javelin men. Looking here, front line is starting to do a really good stuff. Norscan Ice Wolves continuing to be routed off here. Now, these ones too looking pretty sketch. Cold One's actually going to manage to get a charge here against these ones for free. And here, Horned One's actually coming in, managing to get a beautiful charge here against Throg. Colostodon Hunters also saturating in here to make sure he's gonzo. These Sally hunting packs continuing to do a fantastic job. Cold One Spears are down. All the Javies are up here. Although these chaps have rallied here in the backfield. Norscan Ice Wolves ready to get the jump on something, no doubt. They're going to be escorted off here on this flank by some Cold Ones with spears. Not looking good. Droidica Shield comes down, but it might be too little too late. Throg. We do have a considerable amount of shooting, but there's still a serious amount of mobility. Sallys are going to be caught up. Ice Wolves get the nice charge here against some chameleon skinks. Turn over here. Javi's trying to peel for both Throg and some of the other stuff, but they're just too out of position. Norska does get some of its mobility back. As it does seem as though these Cold One spears are not having a good time. Bit of an even trade here, both sides losing some of their skirmish elements. As these Bearmen are going to try and get in on the Salamanders. Cold Ones have come back. Marauder Hunter Javelins turning about face, no doubt in a second. Throg is pretty much gonzo. Yeah, I don't know how this one pans out. The Horned Ones are still over here. Colostodon Hunter's still chasing off Throg. Mazda still spry as ever. I think Norska needs to sack a unit to keep the... Just needs to reform. They're so spread out now that the mobility, the extra mobility that the lizards currently have, is just able to pick them apart. Not before these Sallies are actually going to be taken out, though. The Droidic shield here to make sure that these Cold One spears are actually able to win that engagement. But yeah, the Norska's just too spread out right now. They need to reform. Just sack a single unit and then reform so that the lizards have to come back. But the balance of power is still even Stevens. Norscan Ice Wolves are down and out. Skin Wolves are still in it to win it. The Shaman Sorcerer of Metal about to jump in. But it does seem as though that Ruination of Cities didn't do a fantastic job. Yeah, Chameleon Skinks managed to rout off these guys. We still have a couple more volleys that can keep Norska in the game for just a little bit longer. Skink Javies back in it. These Bearmen are getting kited out. But yeah, the Horned Ones come back in, get a rear charge here against them. That's not looking too great. Might turnabout face here. Turnabout. Maybe get a bit more Mazda. Mazda is still doing great. Cold Ones. The Horned Ones, sorry, actually doing a pretty okay job there. Wrapping up the last of these Marauder Hunter Javies. But geez, Javi's gone. I don't know. Do we have a Skin Wolf somewhere? Might rally if he heals up enough, but that's not a great shout. Yeah, I think it's just clean up here. I think the Lizards got this. Colossums, yeah. Lizards took the W. Is this Lizardman versus Norska? Yes, indeed, Quickman. At 40, Horned Ones did okay. Colostodon Hunters did fantastic, but they were picking at Throg's heels the whole way. Neither Ruination did anything. I seen one of the Ruinations, Prime. Didn't do great. Yeah. That's that one done. We might... Which one do we want to do? Greenskins versus Norska. Look at Greenskins versus Vampire Counts. I want to see this match. Norm versus Curio. I do like to see the different cooks that come up from Vampire Counts into Greenies. It's a matchup where I can blunder pretty hard, but can kind of... Alright, let's take a peek here. Either way, from the side of the Counts, we're going to have some Skellington Spears, some Zambozos Spears, the Aura War Skellingtons, the Tithe, the Sternsman, which is an unusual pick, some zombies, some zombies, some zombies, triple Vargeists, and of course Manfred up on the skies, Necromancer with Forbidden Rod, which has already gone through. Who is Regen? Unholy Lodestone. And does he take Master? Yeah, he took Masters as well, which is a pretty good shout. What has Manny got? Purple Sun, Spirit Leech, Pestilent Breath and Gaze of Nagash, along with Life Leeching and Arcane. He pretty much took a full kit. Pretty much a full kit. And a Banshee. Does she have the... No, she doesn't have the banner. She's taken naked. And a single Vargulf. No beauty. What about rattling guns? True. Alright, from the side of Curiel, we're going to see some Death Creepers, some Muggrubs, Mangy Marauders, some Skirmish elements. Grom the Paunch with the Lucky Banner, Axe of Grom, Language of the Boys. Uses standard regen. Orc Spears, Goblins, Orc Boys, 8-peak Loonies, Goblins, more Orc Spears, and then Savage Orc Boar Boys, some Savage Orc Biggins, Ruglans, Armoured Orcs, Broken Tusk Mob, some more Savage Orc Biggins. Nice. And then what's the caster? Orc Shaman with Gaze of Mork and the Brain Burster. Are we seeing Gaze of Nagash right off the bat? No, nothing yet. We're just gonna see this entire front line, this very wide front line, do its thing over here. But we're probably gonna see either the Vargulf or the Necromancer get sniped out here early. But really nice voiding out there using the skeletons and stuff. Do they take any damage at all? Not really. Front line is going to re-engage over here. The Tide's just going to get shot out to begin with, as everything else is kind of chilling in the backfield, waiting for these guys to waste their ammunition. Which is smart. That is the way you do it. Not sure if Peak Pass sucks. Okay. These chaps continuing to do their thing. Finally, these guys do manage to get into the backfield, but at what cost? Because now they're kind of having to... They're forced to go into the back line completely, as they're going to shoot out some of these guys. But there's an opportunity here to go for a full wide collapse here on top of it. We're still waiting for this kind of kite phase to end out here, but there's very little balance of power over here, so a full collapse here onto this flank is probably as advised, and so it will happen. Vargulf is going to get shot at for a little bit, as he's going to Duke Dive, Dodge, Duke Dive, and Dodge. Right, these chaps are going to get a nice charge here for free. It's pretty valuable to get rid of this nice and early. Grom is going to power on through some of these zombies, but he does get a little bit stuck. And with that happening now, we're seeing a full surround over here. Getting ready to collapse in all of these bits and pieces over here. Like, you have these chaps over here ready to get the surround, catch this all in here, and with the Vargheist then they can come in here as well on top of it. If that's what they want to do. We are getting ready now for that full collapse. This flank, unfortunately, was engaged pretty early, and it's pretty much about to get rid of... Yeah, this over here isn't ideal. But it does mean that the Vargheist and stuff will have opportunities to get their collapses in quite nicely. But with the Skirmish Cav still up, you can kind of disengage with them for a while as the AP Loonies looking for something to jump in on. Really good early engagements here for the Greenskins right off the bat. Scrom's going to power in through here, but unfortunately there's an awful lot of scary things to get the collapse in on top of. The Squigs and the Cavalry are really the most important part over here. It does seem that some cast went down, as Grom is going to get caught. Oh no! A Vargulf and a Banshee. Banshee's taking a beating. But now the cavalry has to pick what it actually wants to get the collapse in on. Yeah, nice breath attack comes down here. Zombozo saturating in the AP Loonies doing their thing. Ruglin's armored orcs ain't looking so hot. The dive comes in here against the savage orcs. Really nice Vargeist play here, very patient. He's waiting for exactly when he wants to get collapses and on what, and he's going for the Broken Tusk Mob. With support, their melee attack is going to go down just a considerable amount, and there it is. That's exactly what we're looking for. A beautiful not Fate of Buna. The Orb. What's it called again? Purple Sun. There we go. On pretty much all of these high value targets. On top of the Broken Tusk Mob, basically terror outing here. Vargeist are going to be able to get out now in just a second, but they are going not looking like they're going to be able to get out there. But it's a really good target gone. Vargeist back up into the sky. Grom is just getting chased about the place. The poor guy. He's going to have to run headlong into some Zombozos. Oh! Didn't give a charge order to be able to get that mass to charge on through. And yeah, there we go. Full collapse onto this. These Vargeists do actually manage to get out. Full collapse here on Grom. Really nice Vargeist play here. Vargulf just bumping and grinding here. Grom is broken. Oof. Beautiful collapse, though. These Vargeists might crumble. And the Necromancer's kind of hanging out there, all in his lonesome. Yeah, with Grom gone, yeah, that's that. Now we can start looking at other targets. I imagine some healing is going to come down. Yeah, the Savage Orcs are going to dive here on the Necromancer. And it does look like he's going to go down, but I think, yeah, he's used up all his Wom factory is now over. Mugrub's Mangy Marauders coming in here as well. He does have, yeah, he just has a gaze. And a few other bits and pieces. Sniping out their Shaman would now probably be next thing on the list. As unfortunately these Savage Orc Boar Boys are going to rout off. Yeah, it's looking like Neferata is going to come in the DLC. And now everything else now is just going to be picking the right engagements to tear these greenskins to pieces. Vargulf's going to get a charge here against these guys. Clears everything else then maybe to get a collapse. Do we have 2 or 3 Vargies left up? Sternsmen are going to get charged here by the armor piercing of the Durkit Squigs. The wall comes back up again. Stalkers are more or less gone. Breath attack here onto Ruglin's Armored Orcs. It's the second one I've seen. Yep, still has another one. Still has more gas left in the tank. A lot of mobility here from the Greenskin still left. Unfortunately, these chaps ain't looking so hot as another. Purple Sun comes down. Serious damage goes down on them chaps. It's a bit of a collapse comes through here as well. Really nice picking the engagements from the norm. And Brain Burster comes down here, but does I think more friendly fire than anything else. Very careful picking of engagements. Durkit Squigs are next on the list of things to go bye-bye. On top of having the Necromancer and everything else there. Mass holding them in, they're about to rout. We still have the Broken Tusk Mob in play. But I imagine a Zombozo cast is... No zombies. As everything else now kind of runs away. Broken Tusk Mob there, the morale faltered for just a second. Banshee doesn't have the banner. A lot of single entities still in play here for the vampire counts. Back into the skies we go again. Broken Tusk Mob is gone. Another piece of mobility gone. But we are seeing the Mugrub's Major Marauders rack up that value. The Death Creepers are going to be caught. Another cast came through there. I just missed it, unfortunately. And then Vampire Counts take the W. GG's. I do want to see these values here. Per gram. Orc Shaman did okay. Dirkets did great. This is one of the matchups where I really like Blood Knights. Really like Blood Knights. Like, they do a great job. You just have to be careful you don't catch them in, like, Savage Orc Biggins. Or any armor-piercing infantry. 2 cards of Blood Knights, 1 of the Varix Reavers. You take out any of the high-value mobility pieces, and then you can just cycle charge everything to death. No problemo. Yeah, Manfred did fantastic. He might have ped for himself. Banshee did great. He did his thing. Stearnsman, not great. I don't think I'd ever take the Stearnsman in here. Personally. 2 Purple Suns. This has been a lot different IMO. Yeah, the 3 Purple Suns that went down, I believe there was 3 of them. And pretty good in the Vargulf. Vargulf did fine. Banshee nearly ped for herself. GG's. GG's. Yeah, I can take that map out of rotation for next week if people don't like it too much. No, that's not what I wanted. There we go. And then we'll do the last one. The last match. Yeah, I'll take it out. That's fine. If people don't like it, we'll get rid of it. I'll make a list of maps to get rid of. Add to Stomping Grounds instead. I mean, it's in rotation. It just depends on whether or not it gets picked. Yeah, we'll do Greenskins, and this is the last match. Pete Pass is the best map in the game. No better map in the game. Not even close. You see, this is why I'm careful about the maps I get rid of. Okay, anyway. Orc Boys. Frontline. Goblins. Orc Boys. Orc Boys. It's the time for the boys. Orc Arab Boys here in the backfield. Ruglans as well. 8-peak Loonies. More Arab Boys. Savage Orc Arab Boys. Boar Boy Biggins. Boar Boy Biggins. Savage Orcs. The Broken Tusk Mob Oral War. Orc Boar Boy Biggins. And then more Orc Boar Boy Biggins. It's a big day for the Biggins. Effigy of De Git. Gaze of Mork. Brain Bursta. Fist of Gork. The Frenzy into Power de Wa. Along with the Bonewood Staff. Gets charge bonus. All that shenanigans. Lovely stuff. Yeah, I don't mind it either. Personally. But anyway. Norscan Ice Wolves in the flanks. Skin Wolves. Skin Wolves. Marauder Hunters with Javies. 3-4 of them. Marauders. 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 Maraudering. More Maraudering. And then 2 more Skin Wolves and a Norscan Ice Wolf in the flank. Throg! With Fight or Die. The Wintertooth Crown. Standard regen. Pretty much nothing else on him. And then we have a Shaman Sorcerer of Metal. With Searing Doom and Final Trance. Wowzers. Wowzerinos. Alright. Alrighty. We're seeing our players do their thing. Getting ready to do their bits and pieces. We do see an Overcast Gaze of Mork come out, which is going to hit the Shaman Sorcerer of Metal, who actually did an insane amount of damage there. Everything else is playing super... Oh, the Rock Lobber. I forgot to mention there was a Rock Lobber here, which is just going to lob some rocks, funny enough, at some of these Marauder Hunters, of which none of them hit Lamau. XD even. Good lords. As they're going to be making pew pew noises. Slowly but surely. Trying to take out some of these bits and pieces who are forced to shoot at what seems to be general infantry. Overcast there that not only did some decent damage to these Marauder Hunters, also managed to do some good damage here against the Shaman Sorcerer of Metal. Do see some runoffs coming out here as well. Trog has taken a battering here as pretty much everything is shooting at him. The rocks finally starting to hit things. Good job, lads. These Orc Arab boys are going to be taken down as unfortunately this flank collapse is going to go through. Norscan Ice Wolves. Looks like they're going to go after the Savage Orcs. These big uns are going to get skin-wolfed. And it's not looking good here for Norska, as it does seem as though one of the Javies is gone. This one's probably going to follow suit in the not too distant future. These Norscan Ice Wolves are going to be sandwiched between Biggins and regular boar boys. These Skin Wolves also not having a great time of it, but they're trading pretty evenly. But I would say that that's probably going in the Greenskins' favour. Over here, not so much, as it does seem as though the Broken Tusk mob is just winning this one out. These Marauder Hunters are probably going to join their friends in the not too distant future. They've managed to rally over here. Actually, the Skin Wolves managed to carry through. Good lord. Jesus, I thought that was a foregone conclusion how that one would turn out. Whereas over here, it does seem the Broken Tusk mob is going to hold firm. Likewise, these Norscan Ice Wolves are gone, and we have a bit of a boar boy biggin sangage going on here of these ones. Some infantry is going to saturate in. The front line engagement seems to be going resoundingly in favour of the Greenskins. Throg is stuck in the middle with you with some 8 Picaloonies. As unfortunately they do rout on this side. Managing to chase off some of these Skin Wolves. And there we go. We're seeing some really nice final trans coming down here on Verzig. Throg is going to be getting shot to bits here. The AP Loonies continuing to do their thing. Shaman Sorcerer of Metal ain't looking too good for wear. Over here on this flank we are seeing these Skin Wolves getting chased off. Now one flank did not go the way I expected, and another one went the exact opposite of how I expected. Jesus. AP Loonies are probably gone. Throg having a grand old time cleaving through them. Orc Boar by Biggins coming over here. Skin Wolves are about to be routed off. They might rally, although no, they won't rally. Not likely. Marauder Hunters with Javies thrown in here to some Orc Boys, but they have their piggy friends coming in. Oh no, Miss Piggy! You're coming for me! Coming in over here, across the hills. Orc Arab boys making pew pew noises over here. And thank God, some serious value coming out. 1,000 value for Wurzeg. Doing a fantastic job just taking out that sorcerer. And with the sorcerer gone, it ain't looking too hot here for Norska. Infantry pretty much gone and dispersed across the place. Their mobility basically all taken out now at this stage. Some Ice Wolves still in play, but not many of them. Throg will continue regenning away over here. And I think it's just cleanup from here on out. Fast forward here just a little bit. Yeah, it's kind of a weird one. Although some Ice Skin Wolves are pretty healthy here. Going for a nice charge here straight into the Arrow boys. The Broken Tusk mob is still in play. AP Loonies, all one of them. Look at him go. Look at him go. Look at him go. He's gaming. Got a nice poke in the arse there. Good job. Broken Tusk Mob is going to charge into Throg. Skin Wolves coming in now to try and sort him out. These Skin Wolves here are actually routing. Jesus. Broken Mob Tusk. Oh, Gaze of Mork comes through here. Getting some nice damage here against the Skin Wolves. And into Throg. But with all that infantry saturating in, maybe supporting the Broken Tusk Mob just a little bit. Should probably set up for a... Oh, Wurzik is running away from Throg. Another... I think he can spell kite this out, though. Alright. Yeah, we just fast forward here. This cleanup duty. Wurzik chase off these. They're probably going to break in a second. Throg goes down, and with him down, even with a few Skin Wolves, I don't think there's enough in it. Yeah, GG's. There was a pretty nasty spell kite position there for the Greenskins to put Nurgle into... Not Nurgle, sorry. I just assume it's Kokino playing, so I just say Nurgle. For Norska. Yeah, Broken Tusk Mob gets in. Army losses is inevitable. Although... Wait, what? Huh? Why did you send Wurzik in? What? What? Excuse me? Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Hold up. How? You were in a really nasty spell kite position. One more case of Mork. Hang on a second. Let's fast forward through most of this. Alright. The collapse goes through. Alright, Throg takes an absolute battering. He's not too far off of... I'm so confused. Alright, we're almost back to where we needed to be. Bunch of stuff is routed off. These Skin Wolves are fine. These Skin Wolves are fine. We've most of the mobility. Yeah, they take them out good. These Skin Wolves are fine. They're pretty... They might rally. Probably not. Alright, now we're going to go back to normal speed. Okay, Wurzik takes a battering. We're pretty much back to where we were before... Yeah, here we are. Okay, Thrall gets the charge there. These Skin Wolves... these Skin Wolves came back. Wurzik does manage to get out. Broken Tusk Mob has is Frostbit. Bumwood Staff, Fisted Gork. He's taking an absolute battering. Right, we got a charge in here. These Skin Wolves do that. These Skin Wolves are probably gonzo. Right, down the pipe. Didn't hit Throg. Wurzik runs about the place. He has 60 speed. 48 speed. Skin Wolves are still in play. They're getting slowly but surely beat to heck. Beat to frick. They'll turn around and start shooting at stuff. Okay, they're electing to try and make sure that these skin wolves actually get taken out. That's good. Broken Tusk Mob are in itty bitty bits. They're about to rout again. These guys are probably dead. Aimed for them and it took out... Oh! Oh no. If these archers over here... Some Marauder Javies came back. They routed. These... Oh. Oh no. Javi's about to get shut down. These skin wolves will come back in a second. Where's like chasing off these chaps? They've taken a beating. Rear charge on that and they break. Escort them off. Broken Tusk Mob need to take a chill pill for a bit. But they're about to go off. They're gone. These guys are dead. They're not rallying. They're not rallying. If you can get these guys out of here and saturate in. Alright, Ruglan's come back. These guys are still trying to skedaddle. Oh, and the balance of power starts to get away. Ruglans are gone. Alright, that's tough. That's nasty. Like 4 skin wolves versus the world. Alright, these skin wolves went. Broken Tusk Mob could chase them off and make sure. Couple of volleys. Couple of volleys. He went for the... Oh. Oh, you went for a rear charge. I understand. And then he gets absolutely beat to frick. Oh, but no, the... Oh, no! Oh, no! Oh, that's tragic. That's so funny. What a game. The local Trog speed is such BS. Local VC main forgets other factions don't have limited amounts of WOM. You bring up a compelling argument. What a match. Jesus. I'm keeping that one. That's a good replay. Alright, folks. It has been real. It has been phenomenal. It has been great. No ITP and Fear Their Own. Yeah, that stands to reason. Alright, we're gonna end, folks. I don't think there's anyone live that I can raid into. Let me see on YouTube if there's any gamers. Gamering. Nope. As Maverick Sloth. Maverick Sloth. He's probably finished up. Yeah, he finished up, unfortunately. We can't raid into him. But either way, folks, thanks for coming by. Thanks for swinging on by. Y'all are amazing. But